The senator from Vermont.
Madam President, I've been in the Senate just a few weeks shy of 40 years. But for the past 2 years, I've had the distinct honor of serving this chamber as the President pro tempore. Just 4 senators from Vermont have held this title. I'm the first Vermonter in more than a century. So I'm going to take the historian's word they did that, because they were long before I was born. It has been, of course, among my greatest privileges to represent Vermont in the United States Senate, something I dreamed about as a child. And it has been a day after day after day privilege to represent my very special state of Vermont in this body. But it's also been an honor and a privilege to serve as the President pro tempore in this institution, the United States Senate. This is an institution for which I will always have the greatest respect and affection. I have for every day of those 40 years. I know I will after I leave here. In fact, though, when I assumed the position of President pro tempore, something that I had not realized would happen, Marcel and I welcomed into our family over time nearly 20 invaluable members of the United States Capitol Police. As President pro tempore, as third in line of succession, the office comes with a security detail. Not something I'd asked for. In fact, I said, well, I don't really need that. And they said, you don't get any choice in the matter. Well, I found out what they are like. And Madam President, I've had a background in law enforcement before I came here. But I have never served with such professionals. The professionals that comprise this team, they sacrifice time at home. They sacrifice time with their families and weekends and holidays. In fact, around the clock. I could not be more grateful for their dedication to public service and for their professionalism and for their good nature. They are an example of what the best in law enforcement should be. And I think the United States Capitol should be very proud of our U.S. Capitol Police, and especially of those who are in this unique dignitary protection division. Those who serve on such details are trained to blend into the background. You might forget that they're there. They know they're there and they miss nothing. They observe everything. And when I try to give them credit for the work they do, they say, well, that's just our job. Well, it's a lot more than a job. It's true professionalism. It's something that makes everybody in law enforcement. It should make every U.S. Senator proud. And I want to take a moment to recognize their commitment. I want to acknowledge their service. Members of this detail include Sergeant David Ribb, Thomas Endrico, Henry Smith, Shane Powell, Eric Boggs, Robert Schultz, Antonio Carafano, Amy McDaniel, John Trostevsky, Ryan Rayball, Ryan Andrews, Jay Smith, Austin Ryan Shuttle, Sean Keating, Anthony Ravenel, Gideon Moran, John Brito, Luis Pimento, Jose Ramirez Jr., Robert Lay, James Mellinson, Edward Wojciechowski. We had one other, Martha James, who recently retired. And next year, when Congress reconvenes, we'll elect a new President pro tempore, my friend Senator Orrin Hatch. And I will continue as Dean of the Senate, and I'll become a future President pro tem emeritus. And I wish Orrin Hatch the best, because I know he's going to be in safe hands with the dedicated members of the President pro tempore's security detail. Again, Madam President, having served in law enforcement having considered that a very significant part of my career, I've never seen more professional police officers than these men and women. And we, every one of us as senators, should be glad they're there. Now, Madam President,